Okay.
Hello, welcome to episode one of the Quicksesh podcast. I'm Justin. A little about myself. I like to game, I guess, a little bit. And my favorite anime right now would have to be Haikyuu.
Good one.
Yeah, that's all good. Name's Jeff. Again, I guess we play games too. Right now, current favorite anime is the one about where the girl dies, gets reborn as a was it a noble, but then she's kind of like a country hick kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that's no. She's a noble, but she likes to farm and shit. Something I want
Yeah,
to be villainous.
something
Villainous is
reborn
Language
as the villainess or
reincarnation.
something like that.
All right. My name's Greg. My favorite anime right now is, my gosh, I'm watching Naruto Shippuden because I have nothing else to watch. Well, there's a lot of things to watch, but if I'm not watching The Office, it's Naruto.
I thought he was gonna say Devil Slayer or something like that.
Devil Slayer.
Yeah, Devil Slayer. You know the one where the sister is a devil and then like the guy has to try to find a way to cure her.
Oh, you mean Demon Slayer?
Oh, Demon Slayer.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds like
Yeah, so I
I
was
don't
gonna
know.
get angry.
I don't know. Devil Slayer is already sounding like a hentai, Jeff.
All right, we're gonna have to cut that part.
I was gonna choke.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm Jay. Like, part-time gamer, full-time weeb. I'm watching a lot of stuff right now, but the ones I'm really into, I probably wouldn't say favorite. It's a toss-up between second season Fruits Basket and Sing Yesterday for me.
Oh, Sing Yesterday, dude. I'm actually sorry.
Yeah, Sing Yesterday for me is, I think, based off of a really old manga. And like, oh man, this is pretty good. Pretty good.
I feel like it's gonna end in heartbreak because there's a lot of.
I feel like this is gonna happen, like regardless of like.
Dude, I'm actually watching that. I just finished the latest episode right before this call happened, and then I feel like it's one of those dating sim games. You know, like Clan Ad, like how that was based off a dating sim game.
Oh, the visual novel.
Yeah.
Well, the thing, like, I guess how it played out with Clannad was that although it was a dating sim type of game, it did try to mask it by like, having only having a main path and then just having girls here and there. This one just more or less feels like a standard drama.
I actually like it. It's pretty good.
That's the one, right? The guy got out of college, works at a convenience store, and then like one of.
And one of them was a teacher and the other one was a convenience store.
I like Fruits Basket.
Fruits
Justin
Basket is great.
watched it.
We are currently in uncharted territory because the second season has never been animated up until now. It's currently uncharted territory, so it's a little exciting. Also Kaguya-sama because I'm into that.
Wait, so
Nothing
second
to
season
that.
came out already for Kaguya?
Yeah, Kaguya-sama's in season 2 right now. It's in episode 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pretty sure I know how this season will end.
Everyone's got good taste in anime except
Fairly certain. There's a few other ones too that I've dropped, but we'll get into that way later.
Yeah, I'm not weaving up, or I don't know the name of the names, but I do enjoy. Because Justin said Haikyuu already.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I got hooked in the first episode, man.
I'll tell you right now, I don't like sports anime, but Haikyuu is hype. It's a pretty good show. I don't even like sports anime, but Haikyuu is really good.
It's because you used to play volleyball too.
You got injured playing volleyball, right?
I did.
I legit wanted to
I got
play
injured
volleyball.
playing, but I played volleyball in middle school as well. I think that's how I first met Matt, was volleyball.
Oh yeah. They all play volleyball. Okay, anyway, so about our group, Quicksesh is just a bunch of friends that met up in Jeffrey's garage at first, and then we all started playing, or not playing, but we all just started hanging out at first, and then Street Fighter 4 came out, and that's when the whole I guess boom of fighting games and consoles came out. So we all started playing that together, and I guess at the time we were still playing Call of Duty. And whoever's not familiar with Call of Duty, there's this thing called Quickscope. And anyway, our friend stupidly said, "Oh, let's name it Quicksesh." And then we all laughed at first, but it just came to be the name of our little session. So that's why it's called Quicksesh. So basically, it's just a group of friends just doing what we love and stuff. But yeah.
Good story. I wasn't there.
I can
Oh no.
really trace it as far back for me as maybe it's 2010, I think, because I remember like 2009, like Street Fighter 4 came out, and then
Yeah.
I wasn't really, I just bought it, and I'm like, I don't know how to play this game. This is like, it's Street Fighter. Like, yeah, I'll mash all the buttons, and then I started to take it seriously when Super came out. Like, oh, let me just see if I can take this a little bit further. So I don't even know how you ended up meeting Jeff, quite frankly. And I just met Jeff through Justin.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know how I met you, Greg. You just kind of integrated somehow.
I mean, went to the same high school.
I have no idea how I met you at first.
You know, it's actually this could have been an anime because I known him, or supposedly your mom actually knew me when I was younger, so technically we're childhood friends somewhat. Because
It's like
Yeah, my
was
mom.
gonna have that Osana Najimi
My mom.
romance.
My mom knew Jeff.
yeah,
I guess people just knew Jeff. I just
because Greg's older brother, same age, so we actually went to the same elementary school. Then I guess your mom and my mom actually I guess talk story. I'll be honest, I don't even remember Sam. But then again, life hits you hard. Yeah, sometimes when you're young, you gotta don't remember these. So it's kind of like if I was a chick or if Sam was a chick, then this would have been a cool love story.
It would have been, huh, actually.
I don't think I remember all girl like acquaintances and friends I've had at all.
That's cool though. So for everyone else, we've known each other for either 10 plus years already.
I guess so.
Yeah, just about.
Time flies.
Yeah, me and Jay actually went to the same high school. So I've known him a little longer than you guys, but I knew Jeff and Greg after high school.
After school, Greg, I knew you during high school, so that's easily 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Maybe like I guess me and Justin already shared like stuff in common at the time in high school because we were in Japanese class.
Hey,
Japanese class.
I wasn't
Yeah.
here. We were in the anime and manga society, which was hella funny because we were not. I'm pretty
Both
sure
were
we
in
were
that?
not liked by the advisor a lot, or I think the advisor liked you, right? Was it Tokumine or something?
Yeah, Tokumine, yeah.
Yeah.
You know when you do that, Jeff, I see you poking at Justin.
Oh, the other. See, Greg is actually right above me, and then just
Yeah.
the corner.
Because by default, I'm in the bottom right corner from my screen, but your mileage does vary, of course.
Oh, it might
Like
be
I said-
mirrored. That's why, right? Like if
Yeah.
I point up is Greg. If I go this way,
Yeah.
what do you guys see?
Yeah, you point that way, Justin.
Oh, okay. Gotta be mirrored then, if anything. Oh, I
So
got it.
on my screen, I'm top right. Greg's next to my left. You're bottom left, and Jay's below me.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
looks like. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Alright.
yeah, long time playing games.
Definitely. I think
Yeah.
games and weedness connect us.
Yeah.
The weebness thing is just I don't know, like
That came
I just-
after. I know.
I forced it. I forced it into myself in order to do better in Japanese, which is the weird thing because I wasn't into any of this stuff before Japanese. I got thrown into Japanese because Spanish was full.
That's weird, actually.
Yeah, so like I swear to God, I picked like Spanish for my your language, right? No, this is these letters and whatnot, and I come like first day like, oh, how come in Japanese? Oh, the class is too full. It's like, oh, well, I'm gonna fail.
Well,
And
shit.
it turns out I kind of liked it, so I was like, oh, okay, this is like one of my better classes. So like, okay, how do I integrate myself better? Get into the anime or whatever.
And the manga.
Like the thing is, I didn't know how to pronounce it like way back when. Like, let's see, I guess Web 1.0 era, or like when you didn't have access to the internet. Like I would see like little ads in like Tips and Tricks, Electronic Gaming Monthly, and there'd be ads to buy like anime in bulk in like VHS tapes, and I didn't know how to pronounce it. I say Gundam and Anime. So like,
Gundam.
and that's what I remember. But Gundam Wing was like in 1999 dubbed, I think 99, 98.
Yeah, I remember watching in the Philippines. In
I
I
remember
Tagalog.
remember
watching the
watching the
dub.
Cartoon
I,
Network.
I watched the Filipino dub of like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. This was the
I
times when
heard
we had
I heard
the.
stories of that.
You
Oh,
remember
like
Toys and Joys?
it's like
The ripped off DVD anime DVDs where it's just like the yellow subtitles. Those were the
Though
days.
that's
where
what
you get them from Toys and
that's what
Joys,
Toys,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what Toys and Joys had was those bootleg like Hong Kong like anime stuff that they took it from subgroups and just redid it with the same subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were good
So
times.
they were good times, I guess. But I was sailing the seven seas back then from the early 2000s.
The things
You
we do,
know,
dude. The things we
like
do.
times have changed, careers have changed. We've grown up a bit.
The hairline
So
has been receded.
it is. My hair
I
does.
don't know, man. My hair looks kind of good.
Yeah, fuck you,
Oh yeah,
fuck
I'm
you.
not, I'm not gonna
you got
My
some genes, yo.
my hair is still the same.
lie.
Or is it? It's
Must be nice, yeah.
It's a little long for my
It
liking,
is
but
nice.
it's
My
alright.
hair is just thinning, so I have to like do certain hairstyles, so it just kind of doesn't look like it for the most part.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
It comes with age.
So when I wear a product, it looks fine, but I
But
but I
then
know
without it, oh
but I know the truth. It also helps that I'm slightly taller than most, like I guess the average height, so it's fine.
Mm.
Sure.
I'm a big
Alright,
bit of
so
products. That's why I like the longer hair because I can just tie it down. Then it's decent enough.
Look like a samurai, you weeb.
That
Samurai.
no. See, I like the headband because like you can still do like that. Yeah, like.
That's what delinquents do in Japan.
Hey, back me up. No, right? No, no, right?
yes, go Greg, do not me.
I don't know where I
Anyway,
saw it. Yeah.
so today's episode is about Batman. How has Batman affected you? How has it changed your lives? And what are your thoughts on the current situation of the not just the U.S. but I guess the world with Batman? Who wants to start it off?
I can start. All right. So prior to this, the Batman becoming introduced to the world, I worked primarily in an office. I used to, always just take the bus to the office, work full 8 hours and then go home. And I've always dreamed of, working from home, but not like this.
On your own
And
terms, right?
yeah, on my own terms. And
Gotcha.
then it turns out, there's like a lot of things possible with working from home, and this whole the situation we're in right now. Yeah, it just kind of introduced us to new ways to adapt to work life, home life. Right now, my desk is literally just 2 steps away from my bed, so it's really new to just wake up and I'm already at work.
So, but that could bring like negative effects to your work habits, right? Like, because like like when you're at home, like you could be home is the place to relax for most
Yeah.
people. So, like, does that affect your work style when you're working at home?
Yeah, I find that sometimes I just it's really hard to get into like a restful mindset. There's no separation because of the location of where I choose to work, and I would
Yeah.
opt to choose to work somewhere else in the house, but Wi-Fi right now is just best where in my room where it is right now.
That sense of privacy is gone too, right? Because I can only imagine if you're living with your family members. So while you're working, they could just come in out of nowhere and be like,
Yeah, I hear roosters and chickens just cawing as I work. And I'm not used to that. I'm just used to hearing the air condition going and phone calls going off.
All right. Jeff?
yeah, I can do it. So for Batman, in terms of a professional standpoint, I work as IT. So we are actually considered essential workers. So fortunately, I know throughout throughout the states. A lot of people are unemployed at the moment. I am fortunately not one of, or I still can work during this. Oh, we can't even say some of the words that would relate to it, right? I guess to the current situation.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But personally, for my family though, I we only had two incomes. My mom is currently unemployed. My dad has not had a job for I believe almost 5 years now. So at the moment, I am the only non-passive income for the family.
Mm.
So right now it's not too bad. Dipping into the savings, and with the whole unemployment, with the extra 600, it does help. We're able to cover the mortgage plus daily necessities. But looking into the long run, as things progress, my mom's business or where she works, the she works in the tourism industry. It's only if this keeps going, they can only survive for so long without stimulus for active or customers, right?
Yeah,
So that's the thing
definitely.
to yeah, something to look out for. Uh, really strict regulations now imposed on us, even if we only work in the offices. On campus, we have to wear masks. Social distancing has to be taken into effect. Um, just the standard affairs, I guess the standard precautions that the World Health Organization implemented, uh, including washing your hands properly. You know what we were supposed to normally do already, or using what's that word? The disinfectant or the gel, the alcohol wipe or the alcohol
Sanitizer? Hand
sanitizer. There you
sanitizer?
go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Oh
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
man.
Uh, but yeah, it's not. It's a change. But currently it's not as bad as it could be, which is I'm really grateful for. So that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if it
Just
would be a Ebola, you know?
which one?
Remember a few years ago we had the Ebola outbreak. Imagine if that was it, you know.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
that would have been hella worse too, because that is super infectious.
Yeah.
Right now, Batman is not too bad. Or if people are just smart enough and then just just follow procedures, we shouldn't be too bad. Because I heard on the news when Florida reopened up their beaches, I think they hit like a record-breaking cases like a couple days after just from that because yeah they getting
Open
out
too
of
soon.
quarantine too early, it wasn't smart kind of thing. So
Mm.
that's something to look out for. So I'm hoping that this 2 month we're going into our second month now where we live. I believe end of May is the official end of lockdown, but I do recall they're saying they're doing some early openings for some of the businesses on May 14th, right?
Ah, 15, I
Yeah.
think.
May 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, they still have to have all the precautions in place, right? Like the social distancing, um, like a so much maximum amount of customers within inside of the facility kind of thing, right? Because like if they just go back to all willy nilly, we are gonna get hit kind of hard. But I think a couple days ago we actually had a reported where we had no new cases of Batman visiting us, so
Yeah.
which is really good.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Zero
think
cases. We're in Hawaii, by the way.
yeah, Hawaii.
Give everyone perspective.
I think it was Hawaii and Montana have the lowest amount of visits out of the whole 50 states, so which is kind of cool. Don't quote me on this. I think that's what it is. So Montana and Hawaii.
I think Alaska's down there too, actually, part of the stuff. Alaska, as far as the number of deaths are concerned,
Yeah.
is it's lower than stuff, but we still have the same mentality of like one is too many, and I can understand the sentiment, but it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, as far as how it's affected me, it hasn't affected me much. If I'm not a gamer, I'm not a weeb. I'm a nurse. I'm not gonna say where I work, but I do work in a skilled nursing facility. I don't work in a hospital. So I guess if you want to say as front lines is gonna get, is probably in the hospitals because that's where they're taking care of, the people Batman has met with. Yeah, I don't see everyone just like looking in different directions. What are they looking at? So, as far as how it's changed my work for the most part, it hasn't. It hasn't affected my routine at all. The only thing it has affected is probably the standard flow of what actually comes in and out. So, for the most part, I'm pretty okay with just staying at home for the most part because it's not much different from what I normally do. Stay home, play some games, watch some anime, and then go back to work later on. But other than that, like, yeah, like when I go, like the thing that's come out of this with Batman meeting up is that I do get slightly more staff because we have other sister facilities, and because they have to close due to federal guidelines, we were able to assimilate some of the other people, so I just got more staff. So it makes my time easier as far as getting my workflow done, but it's a little harder because we still can't let family visit. And that's kind of that can be kind of tough because, quite frankly, I know that the families do miss it, but it does have a overall negative effect on, I guess, on them. But I'm trying to guard a very vulnerable population, like a very vulnerable population. You could just stare at them and they'll get a UTI. That's how bad this could be. So.
Wow.
Damn, brother.
So for the most part, it's really scary. I'll tell you that with the facility I've worked at, we've already done like a number of tests already. They're all negative, of course. But it is a bit scary because as soon as we have, like, if anyone has anything that seems like it could be symptoms for the most part, I get an order, and essentially their room stays on lockdown. So I am full garb, PPEs, N95s, face shields, all that sort of stuff, until otherwise proven. And it's usually at the least 6 hours that I do this. But I guess the whole take from this, like, staying at home isn't too hard, but I don't know. People are just kind of taking it wrong because we have guidelines. They're guidelines, and that's the thing. It's not martial law. They're not rules. You can get fined for it, but it's considered a misdemeanor. So you're not gonna go to jail for being outside, and that's people like, oh, let's fight for our freedom. This is tyranny. you know.
Oh man, that shit is dumb. By the way,
It is quite like that. It really is kind of like people just like, I know it's been like a couple months, but come on, you don't have to be in your house. You can step outside of your house. Get some fresh air, interact with people a different way for the most part. But like, how do I say, like, because Batman is super famous. Everyone knows about Batman, but Batman has its limitations. He can only go so many places for the most part. And like, oh, Batman. But when you realistically think about it, like, there are other, individuals out there that could actually cause a bit more damage. But hey, like, the thing is, like, how was this explained in like a nice video? Like people want to go outside because it's like tyranny, but like, for example, let's say tornadoes, right? There's a tornado warning, you gotta stay indoors. Like, no, I can't. Like, I don't stay indoors. It's a little wind. The flu kills more people than tornadoes. I should go outside. But people still stay inside, right? It's just
So-
I don't know, man. Some guys go out, dude. Like,
I feel like people, like, if it doesn't seem imminent, like, if it doesn't seem like it's gonna like take them right then and there, it's not that big of a concern. And like, okay, well, realistically speaking, it's like Batman's not gonna take everybody, but the more people Batman meets, it'll take somebody. It'll take somebody. The risk gets higher the more people he meets.
So, like, you know how you're talking about, like, you gave an example of hurricanes and stuff.
Yeah, tornadoes.
So, like, we're all from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like, how many tsunami warnings we had in the past decade? How many were, pretty much not existent on our island anyway?
Yeah,
Because
like,
there was one on the other island that hit pretty hard, right? Or like 2 or 3?
Yeah, Kauai.
well, Kauai got hit hard with Iniki. As far as like what's it called, storms are concerned, I know that the Big Island got hit from that storm a few years ago, like harder than
Oh
most.
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
It wasn't like It wasn't like Iniki level. Iniki was a category 5.
Yeah. No, but
Like
I'm
Wake
I'm
Up
talking
Flooded
like
too.
how you gave like an example of how like people go outside slave with Batman and whatnot.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like it's technically like people from Hawaii are acting like people in the mainland for Batman with our tsunami warnings and stuff like that.
No, they
How
don't.
like there's still people that go to the beach during tsunami warnings because they want to catch the waves and
Which
stuff like that.
people? Remember there was that they did like a small news spiel on it where it's like all these guys went on the east coast of Big Island waiting for the tsunami to hit.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I mean, I guess they have a point because like all the tsunami warnings we've had like on all the forecasts and stuff like that have been pretty much not close to whatever it's supposed to be. So like everyone's just just messing around and be like, oh yeah, this one's not gonna be serious anymore and whatnot. But
We
then
have
I
a
feel
lot
like
of
it's just gonna take that one incident for it to like be really bad. Then people will finally learn. Hopefully.
mm-mm.
It's the thing is, it's like, on one hand, I do want them to learn, but on the other hand, they're gonna get themselves hurt. And as much as I like to say, "I told you so," like it still can be a bit of a travesty, of course.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
So I don't know, like if it really is gonna take for them to learn by just going out there, they're gonna learn. Like the thing is, it's the what's the argument? It's just like my body, my choice. I don't know about that. The thing is, if it was something that only affected you, yeah,
Yeah,
like
definitely. Because like if you live home alone,
yeah,
like if you live by yourself, then yeah, that's totally fine. But like if you live with your parents or whatnot,
if you live with people, like if you have interaction with any people, that's the thing. People, like, we have like what's called social responsibility, but
yeah,
on the other hand, like, self-preservation. My mental health is deteriorating in staying inside here. The government is oppressing me. I need to go outside for the most part. But I don't know. Like, quite frankly, I still think it's too soon for anything to go out on the 15th, except for essential stuff. And I do want to go out. I want to go places. I want to go to the bar. I want to go meet up with friends again, play some games in person. And internet's fine, but like that
we
can
know
wait.
that. We
That
know
can
that
wait.
online
Because
stuff sucks.
we don't have rollback net code yet,
Yeah,
so I
there's no rollback.
ain't.
There's no rollback in real life. It's just gonna happen. But like I can wait. Like it's like there could be like far worse things that can happen. Like we could either have our guidelines and good suggestions, or we could have martial law. Not too sure we want to hit that point at all, like for the most part. But like I really don't want like millions of people dying because this is like, oh, we're trying to fight for our freedoms. This is what we're gonna die for, kind of deal. And the
Oh,
thing is,
sorry. Go ahead.
but yeah, so like social distancing seems like it's a good suggestion, and the only make it a suggestion. But the thing is, the reason why there's so like they implemented this in the first place is that, I don't know, maybe just they don't trust us. They don't trust people, and I get that. I don't trust people to not follow anything. Sometimes, like, they're just gonna do it. Like individuals are smart, but people as a collective are pretty dumb.
I feel you.
It is what it is. Like, people collectively can be pretty dumb. Well, anyway,
So I forgot to do what I was doing before Batman visited me. I mean, I didn't forget to, but we were still deep in like that conversation already. Like I didn't want to ruin it. So anyway, before Batman came around, I worked at a what did we do again? I worked at a screen printing place. So like we printed the designs onto fabric for people, and like we just that's pretty much self-explanatory. So I didn't think we would be affected by Batman because we don't really interact with customers as much. We pretty much do our own thing with like the same skeleton crew, pretty much like 5-6 people at a time, and in the store or warehouse where we work. But I guess apparently since Batman closed everything because he's so badass, like he just made people stop ordering fabric and whatnot. So we got shut down pretty fast, actually, huh? Like,
Yeah.
Because the
what was
stay-at-home
it?
order was on the 31st, I think, right? And then were you guys shut down before then?
31st
Yeah.
of February, March.
Was March, yeah.
March. I think we were. I don't know the dates, dude.
It
It's
was
been so.
mid March.
Yeah, I think
I think our
we
passport was
I think he started letting some people go before the stay-at-home order, because I think by then like it was starting to like really panic everybody. So I guess he let some people go, and then eventually he just closed the whole thing down. But I guess as for my life, I got the stimulus, and I got unemployment, so that kind of helps. But yeah, I mean, it's still not as much as I'd be making while working, but it's definitely manageable if you qualify for the unemployment and stuff like that. Which luckily I got. So, and then I know there's people that have not been able to get unemployment or their stimulus either. So like I'm very fortunate that I'm one of the few that got both.
Not gonna
But
lie, man. The union or unemployment is rough to even get. Yeah.
yeah, it is, dude. Like I filed it before you filed for your mom's one.
Yeah, yeah.
I filed it, and then like only now I got my the payment for it.
Oh, that it got processed and then
Yeah,
into
yeah. Only now. So I'm like, oh, okay. But I know people who like have been on the unemployment list for a while and still not got anything.
Man, that's rough, man.
It is. It's still crazy. So then like well anyway, transitioning back to that whole Hawaii reopening on the 15th of May.
Yeah.
So them reopening, like, do you guys think they're just reopening it so we don't, or they don't have to pay people unemployment anymore, or how do you guys feel about
There
that?
was
Like
a case
personally.
posted. Yeah, yeah. I think I seen some posts. They were saying like it's a shitty situation because if they're not under that whole stay-at-home order, that means they can actually start opening up their business. But then opening it so early will essentially get or their employees won't be or they are not qualified for unemployment, and I think their business is just gonna be crap during these times because it's still too early.
Yeah.
People are still gonna have that whole fear mentality where they still don't want to go out. They're not gonna make profits. I think someone mentioned they opened up Starbucks. They went back to work. Was it your friend, Joseph?
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah, there.
the Starbucks at Royal Hawaiian. My friend, I guess they just reopened. So they for her whatever her shift from 6 hour shift, 7 hour shift, she said that the whole store made like $100. Like $100 like for 7 hours of work, that is crazy talk. Like that's not even worth staying open for the thing. So like
Where is that like located? Like inside, like a walk-in type of deal?
so are you familiar with Lure Street?
Yeah, I know Lure Street.
Yeah, so Lure Street, you know there's the PF Chang's and stuff like that?
Is this the one that's like at the corner?
Yeah, definitely. That
The
one.
thing is, if there's no one walking Waikiki, I can understand why they didn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No, but like that's the thing. Like Waikiki is like, because like you know how we're not letting tourists, or like, are we still letting people in Hawaii?
no, there's still people coming in, but the amount of people that are coming in is like dismal compared to
Oh
what
yeah,
we
from
get.
way back, from
Thousand,
before.
yeah. We're probably at best getting like double digits, maybe triple sometimes, but the amount of people coming back are mostly just residents.
Yeah. See, that's the
So
thing. Like certain stores should not open because it's first of all it's like it's still too early. We don't know what's gonna happen. And then second of all, like stores will just lose money because like they're not gonna have much business. They both not certain stores aren't gonna have a lot of business. Like retail shops and stuff like that. They're not gonna have business.
no, that's true.
Yeah. Like I don't know. It's really hard to say because I guess like the state can't afford everyone's unemployment and whatnot. So they just want to reopen. But and then like
Yeah, there's
I
that.
understand
There's
like there
that
was like
thing.
least like not no new cases or something recently.
Yeah.
or like it was very low the number, but like still, yeah, like if you just reopen everything, like it's bound to get worse again.
I guess it really depends the type of things that would be opening because I don't know if they've reopened a lot of malls yet.
I honestly don't know what's actually opening on the 15th. There's like some guidelines. Like there's only certain shops are reopening on the 15th. I don't
Like
know what though.
like I went to
Retails, I believe.
Comic-Con today, and most of Comic-Con isn't open. The only thing that's really open in Comic-Con LA and Couple A is just the outside food places.
Yeah, I think
So
only food places are open right now because they're still essential.
yeah, like not every food place is open either, because I know like a lot of chain type restaurants are not necessarily going to be open if they don't have any like quick ways to minimize like contact for the most part. So like Panda Express wasn't open for the most part in a few places, and like I don't see why because they have food, but not. I guess some businesses, in some cases, it may be to their benefit to stay closed because they lose money just staying open
Definitely.
in some cases, but we have to take this at a case by case basis. Like you could probably at least start up like businesses that have like minimal interaction with people
Yeah.
for the most part. Like like business offices and whatnot. You can. But the thing is, with certain I guess careers, I guess someone could be home, but stuff like that requires like handling of product and actual like manual labor. You simply just can't do at home.
Yeah, definitely. But like the thing is with like office workers and stuff like that, office spaces, generally it's downtown Chinatown area,
Yeah,
and you know how that place is very congested.
it normally is. Yeah.
So yeah, so like just that much human interaction is still not safe. Well, I believe still not at this time.
No, not at this time because well, people are starting to learn how like unclean their practices are for the most part.
Which is silly to say because like we should be clean. Like
Yeah,
honestly, like don't be a slob, please.
like the thing is, we'd have like normal practices and whatnot, but you'd be surprised how much people just skip over that.
Yeah, it's very it's not out of habit for them. It's
Like let's take it back a step and we'll go to like a different country. So Greg, like in Japan, like they're a pretty clean country.
Yeah.
But I've noticed
Talking about the
we have
sink,
we have poor hand hygiene. I'll tell you that it is terrible there. They have terrible hand hygiene. Like not because of the lack of paper towels. Even if they had paper towels and all that, I know they don't want to recycle and minimize trash. But even if there was, they don't utilize that. I see people just go in, do their business, like brush their hands like half a second and just dip with their handkerchief that they've wiped on their hands like multiple times. They probably sneezed too. I've been sick almost every time I've been to Japan.
Wow.
And maybe not because of the weather, because I just feel like just touching everything is just gonna get me sick. The one time I didn't get sick though was when I went in the summer for whatever reason. But like any other time that I went, like oh my gosh, like why am I getting sick? It's not just the weather, just I don't know. People can be dirty there for real, and they don't even know it.
No, I've never got to sit there.
you probably
Yeah,
got sick because
you're gonna notice it now too. You're gonna go back to Japan and you're gonna realize people don't wash their hands. They're just doing any kind. And I know they have some things that are considered rude, like blowing your nose and all that. They don't do that. But how many places have you really seen people use hand sanitizer, or places that actually had like soap for the most part? I've been to many train stations. Half of them don't have soap.
I think Jake got sick
Bring-
because every
bring
time I've
soap
been with him
with
to
me.
Japan, he did get sick.
Yeah.
So I think it was me.
And I kept
My fault,
hand
Jake.
sanitizer with me too at all
I
times.
got you sick. We're from the same place, but I got you sick all the times we went to Japan together.
I don't know, maybe we're making an association causation, Jeff. I like to believe that you're not making me sick, but sometimes evidence will prove otherwise. Like I was yeah. But I always go there prepared on the off chance that I do get sick because I almost never get sick when I'm home. For the most part, I rarely get sick. And I don't know, maybe it's just either my lack of interaction with people or just my good hand hygiene or both. But yeah, I hardly get sick. Like you can ask anyone that I've ever worked with. You can ask them, has you ever called out sick? Never. Never called sick. I've never even called out from school. I haven't been out of school since kindergarten.
No need to brag, buddy.
You know those, those dope perfect attendance room awards. I don't know where they are, but I had a bunch of them. I'm pretty sure I didn't keep all of them. Maybe my mom archived them. I don't know, but the thing is, like, hygiene and whatnot. It's not hard, but I guess if it hasn't been ingrained in you for a while, I can understand why people find it humbug. With me, it's just second nature. Don't touch my face. Like, don't touch my face. Don't do stuff until after you're clean for the most part. So yeah, I hope people realize like some of their practices they're doing out there. You know, it's really really like gets me when I go out there. People wearing gloves.
I don't like that at all, dude.
Yes, I want you to like tell me why you don't like people wearing gloves out there.
Okay, from my perspective, like if I don't know if they use gloves every like a new pair of gloves every time they go out, but like I don't like when they wear gloves because they think they're cleaner than people, so like they touch everything. But like I don't know if it's gloves from somewhere else or like if they have they already have if they already been in contact with Batman, like because they're just spreading it everywhere even more. Because
Yeah,
when
they're
people
carrying
wear
it.
gloves, yeah, when people wear gloves, like they think they're safer, so like they tend to touch more stuff. I do not like that at all.
Oh yeah, you kind of hit that right there. So the thing is with gloves for the most part, like I don't use the same pair of gloves at work. Like I'll tell you that. I go through like dozens of pairs at work. I wash my hands like in double digits, easy, in the first few hours. But the thing
Easy.
is, when people wear gloves, I feel like the mentality there is like, oh man, all these microbes are gonna get through my fingernails and assimilate through my skin. I'm protecting myself right now. But like, if it was something because it's invisible, right? It's not. It doesn't look like a tangible threat, and they'll just be like, okay, wearing gloves is pretty cool. But what if like microbes just left like some doo-doo color on your hands, right? Your gloves. You bet they'd be changing them all the time. You bet you're changing them all the
Yeah,
time. That's the thing.
yeah.
Because people need to be able to see something and comprehend something easily and conveniently in order for it to be like, oh gosh, this could actually be bad for me. If you went outside and a hurricane rained swords, you bet no one's gonna be going outside. Oh man, like Hurricane Diana, man, if this is like Hurricane like Megatron 5000, killer of worlds, people wouldn't be going outside if you name the hurricanes like that.
No one can see the Batman.
Guy Hockey comes. All right, guys, we're looking at the storm system here with Megatron Killer 5000, Destroyer of Worlds is coming this way. Not sure if you want to be going outside, but currently a Category 3. Anyway, let's go to traffic.
Yeah, dude. Like honestly, I think the way it was handled was very poorly on everyone's part.
Mm.
Like, when let's take Hawaii for example. You know how our main industry is pretty much tourism and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they were just scared to isolate ourselves from the rest of the world because our main income is tourism. So like people bring in the money for us to have. But but yeah,
Wait,
I think they were just scared to lose out on all that money. But in reality, like it was gonna eventually happen. Like if they did it sooner than later, like I think Hawaii as a state would have been open, but people still wouldn't be able to come in until like everyone else got clean, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause, like,
Like if yeah,
it doesn't matter if we're clean, because like all the motherfuckers out there.
yeah, exactly. Like Hawaii as a state could have been open. Like we wouldn't have to like close down our stores and whatnot. Like we could have just been living our lives like as it was. But since we let people out and we let them back in and we let people in, it just messed up everything. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Like it was handled very poorly on Hawaii's part.
Well, I do see that like it was handled pretty poorly, but it's kind of a situation where hindsight's always 2020. I'm not gonna say that people were blindsided by this because this didn't come like instantly for the most part.
Yeah, definitely.
There are already warnings for the most part that this could just possibly happening, and our nation as a whole did ignore a lot of these warnings. Like truthfully, they did because because it goes back to it didn't seem imminent. It didn't seem like a threat, and because our resources could be pulled elsewhere to something else, that's why it didn't seem like a threat. Like we had a pandemic task force. We did. The United States. It got axed in 2018. We had opportunities even way back in like a few other presidencies to stockpile stuff. You know how bad the PPE situation is right now. Like I
Sorry,
know
what
it's
is
a hard
it?
time to
What
find.
was that?
It's a hard time to find masks. I have one surgical mask a week at work. That's ridiculous. One surgical mask. So I have to resort to using my I have to use like my home ones and I use it as cover so I don't touch my mask as often. They're supposed to be one time use, and the thing is at first the CDC recommendations were to be like, hey, like you're not you don't have to be wearing masks, and then all of a sudden they instantly changed that, oh yeah, you can wear these masks for like weeks on end, which is no, that's malarkey. You're not supposed to be wearing them because it's already a risk. But like if like Batman doesn't get you first, like just wearing these contaminated masks will get you something else for the most part, and that's the weird thing. I'm just glad we're not at the part right now where gloves are in short shortage because that would just be ridiculous if we were short on gloves.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah,
But
like
yeah, I guess we could wrap it up here. It got very heated at some parts. Like I know I got a little into it.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah. Oh
Well,
well, yeah.
well,
Yeah, we can just continue this later on, I guess.
All
well,
right,
we
well,
just gotta stay safe. Still touch your face. Wash your hands. Love you all.
no, you don't.
Okay,
All
see you
right,
guys.
all right.
All right, I catch you guys then. Okay, I'm gonna end the stuff. I don't know how to end it. Oh my gosh.
Just stop broadcast, bro.